right, so this is a really good video. I'm looking forward to breaking this one down, but it's weird, dude. Like my chair isn't the same. Like,
should have been here last week.
Yeah, I realize that you guys shredded me.
Camping was more important to you.
It was, but everything's different. Like my chair. I mean,
oh, and this is not centered. We got to center this guy.
Yeah, like I think if you're gonna come and sit in someone's seat, like you just put it back.
You're upset you got roasted.
I got roasted, and he adjusted my chair and just got up and walked out. Like I had to reset everything up at my section, but it was good to have a time off. But I appreciate you guys coming and filling in and roasting me. And yes, I do watch the podcast. And God, man, the first like 45 seconds, I just thought, oh my God, I'm getting tore up. Dan did a great job. Your buddy did a great job.
Yeah, Dan and Dave did good. Yeah.
Both of them were great.
Yeah, that's your fault for not being here. We did take the opportunity to roast you. Felt kind of good. Honestly, for me, it was actually more therapeutic than anything.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad.
I appreciate you taking that time off. I wouldn't know what that's like, but I'm glad you had fun. Actually, you didn't even have fun, right? Because you were in Truckee and it was cold. It actually snowed up there one of the days, and it was super windy.
Yeah, that's when Tahoe boats flipped over. People drowned.
8 people freaking died.
Yeah, I was up there. That was absolutely wild. And there was zero notice. It was like thunder, and then that was the 2-minute notice of it is going to get pure chaos, and then it just got wild, the weather.
That's weird.
Yeah, it was nuts.
I don't know that I've ever seen that. And then on Lake Tahoe, that boat capsized with 8 people died, and one of them was an executive with DoorDash.
Yeah. The only
That's
2
crazy.
that survived actually had life vests on. And you know what? It's easy to think like, oh, the thunder and rain, like we need to get back to the dock. But it came on so fast that if you're out on that lake someplace and you're full throttle, like you're not outrunning that storm.
No.
Like they had no option. And I saw a ton of videos on that. And there was guys and their families on boats trying to get ashore, and they couldn't. Like it just happened so fast. That's the crazy weather up in Tahoe.
Super sad. Yeah. That lake is huge for anybody who's never been there or seen it. Most people have heard of it, but it's a massive lake. So yeah, if you were out there, even on a calm day without winds, it's pretty rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw those videos and I was like, damn, dude. And then I saw the story of that boat capsizing with 8 people dying. And I was like, that's really sad, dude. That sucks.
Yeah. It trashed a lot of boats up there. The shoreline got beat up pretty bad.
Yeah. So. Did your trailer survive?
It did.
What about your toys that you have in your back of your toy hauler?
Oh, that's funny. I love how you guys are like, oh, you got a toy hauler. What toys do you have? Well,
you do have you did buy a golf cart recently, but
I do have a pretty sick lifted golf cart, but I am into mountain biking, and it is the Specialized Turbo Levo e-bike. It's not just like some little trail or a little
a downhill bike
pathway. It's like a legit mountain bike.
I know, but it's still an e-bike, so it doesn't matter. Like you're still cheating.
Not cheating.
Because Dave was on and he said he's into the downhill mountain bike thing, and his is just pedal and the old-fashioned chain, dude. No battery with an E.
I know, but the difference with him is downhill is he doesn't do the work to get to the top, where I do the work to get to the top and to the bottom. Like he probably goes to those resorts, like ski resorts, where you hook your bike on the chairlift, it takes you up and then you downhill.
Yeah. Well, I want to give a shout out to, it's been a busy weekend before we jump into this crazy video. We had played in the Michael Davis Placer County deputy who was shot and killed in the line of duty, his charity flag football event yesterday. You don't realize how old you are until you play a sport and it was just flag football, but
so you're just jogging on the field.
No, it was giving it 110% effort, and we played multiple games back to back in this tournament, and you just don't realize, I guess, how old you really are until afterward when I feel like I can barely move and every muscle in my body is cramping. Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. It was super hot. Shout out to all the agencies that showed up to play, and that was a lot of fun. And so maybe somehow next year we can get more involved in.
Let's do it. We should
involved in that. So that was a good time.
Yeah.
Concert on Friday night. Football game early Saturday following the concert, followed by mandatory overtime at some event in the city.
Jeez.
So long day, Friday and Saturday for me for sure.
Nice.
I'm recovering.
Yeah, I am too. I'm trying to get situated in here, and I probably should.
It is annoying actually when you get into a car and someone's messed with your seat, and then you get back into your car and you're like,
it's different.
It just throws you off. That's
creatures
that
of habit.
sucks. So sorry about that.
No, it's all right. I mean, I know it is your fault, but All right. So let's get into this video. It's pretty interesting.
It is, yeah. So it comes out of Fresno and just recently released on 5/7 of this year, where it was a domestic violence call. Lady calls, says her ex-boyfriend's trying to ram her. He pistol whipped her. She said she's bleeding profusely from the head. Initially, it starts out in a parking lot. It then goes mobile when she leaves. He follows her. He's continuing to try to ram her. It ends in an officer-involved shooting, which was pretty wild. Mm-hmm. Let's show the body cam and then come back and we'll just talk about it from the start.
Yeah, let's do it.
911, state your emergency.
Can somebody please come to me? Somebody just hit me with a gun, and I have my daughter. They're trying to kill me right next to me. Please, I'm bleeding. I don't know. I'm on shields. Please
Okay,
come.
are you on foot or in a car?
I'm in a car.
What kind of car?
I'm in a BMW.
What color?
A blue.
Are you alone in the car?
No, I have my daughter.
Okay, who was it that hit you?
It was an ex-boyfriend.
And he hit you with a
I
gun?
think he busted my head open. I'm gushing out blood. And he's following me right behind me.
Okay, hold on, okay? I'm getting the call in.
Okay, he's like trying to hit my car.
So you're driving, you're not parked?
No, because he's like trying to abuse me right now. And yeah, my daughter's in the car, and he hit me with a gun. Stop, I'm bleeding and gushing out blood. Why are you saying that? Why are you trying to kill me?
Do it! Pull over, talk to me.
Why? Just put the gun down. Please, my baby's in the car.
Alright, I have them.
Copy, I'll give it here.
Alright, we are westbound Jensen, now crossing over the 41. They are both failing to yield. Any units close, pit is authorized. Have her pull over out of the way if possible.
Copy.
He's still chasing and ramming.
Charles 14, I'm with you, 102.
You see your heads! I'm with you. You come out with your hands up, or we will shoot you again. Come out on the ground.
7 Charles 14, line of fire is going to be to the east. I need units to arrive from Jensen and 41. Let me take over for you, Sarge.
You got it. Get out of the car! Do not reach for anything or I will shoot you! Get out of the car!
Turn off my siren.
Siren! Unlock the door! Get out! If you reach, you won't get shot! Come out! Face away from me!
Turn away.
Get out and face away! Keep your hands up! Get out of the car! Get out! Face away! Walk backwards! Hands up! Keep coming! Keep coming! Keep coming! Keep coming! Keep coming! Get on your knees! On your knees! Face away!
Go hands. I got him. Someone get on car.
All right, so we just watched the body cam. I think it's important to point out that what you're hearing at the initial 911 tape, dispatchers hear that, and they have a difficult job because they are actively listening to this lady scream for help. Like, she is really needing help.
Yeah.
And the officers don't always get that information. I know there's systems in the car that you can get that, but initially you don't get that.
Yeah, so what's crazy, real quick, I'm going to hit on that. There is a new technology out now, and my department has it, and it just rolled out, at least for us this year. It's called Live 911. So on your MDT, you can actually be plugged into the 911 call system. So as these 911 calls are coming in and the dispatchers are talking to these people live, you can listen to it if you want on your computer. I don't know if Fresno, I think we mentioned this comes out of Fresno, California, but I don't know if they have that or not. But that is something that's kind of crazy, right? To think that like you could be in your car listening to actual 911 calls as they come in.
Well, that's huge for response, and probably if they had it, it would probably help in this response because there is a delay between the caller to dispatch putting that information,
Big time.
transferring it over to the dispatch, depending on your agency, to the officer. So there is a delay in time, but if you can get that real time, I mean, you know exactly what's happening.
Yeah, pros and cons to that too. So anyways, all right, so that's the call for service. I think we had talked, that's one of those situations where like this thing has gone mobile now. It's out on the street. If this was a stagnant event where this is at a house, even if it was in a parking lot somewhere and that guy was either had gone somewhere else or whatever, I'm like, I think you're going to take the opportunity to meet up with your partners, at least a couple people, kind of game plan how you're going to handle this situation. Yeah. You know, he's armed with a firearm. He's already pistol whipped her and he's rammed her car. And her child is in the vehicle with her. So I think it would be appropriate to do that if it was stagnant, but this is not. This is mobile. This is one of those situations where you just got to go. You're going to go to where they're driving, and this sergeant ends up being the first one on scene who intercepts him, says he has the vehicles. I think he did a great job. You can hear his license. He initiates his emergency license siren. He immediately gets in it, jumps the curb, and he's basically chasing both of them because she's trying to get away from him, so she's not pulling over. I thought his radio traffic was really good. He knows the situation that he's in and potentially what he's about to be involved in. And I felt like him kicking the whole thing off, like I thought he did a good job. I would have done the same thing.
For sure. It was a good job. And it highlights the urgency, especially with domestic violence calls, of how emotionally driven they are from the suspect point of view, of how aggressive they are, and then the victim. And in this case, that person is willing to pistol whip someone, shoot at them, and destroy their own vehicle. And then you get a patrol car behind you with your lights and siren, and he is not stopping, and he is still chasing this lady down, ramming her car. Yeah. Like, it just shows that person's mindset. The only thing that stood out to me was the sergeant. He got on there and he said, he asked where units were, which I thought is important. You need to figure that out. But he immediately said, hey, if you get here, the pit is authorized. Yeah. And that kind of stood out to me. At least the training that I've received from EVOC, the vehicle driving training, and then talking with other officers, it's less likely to pit a vehicle that is armed because you disable the vehicle and that vehicle is now facing you. And you don't want that. You want the person facing away from you. So I actually personally think that is almost like a training scar of a sergeant's perspective of listening to multiple pursuits. And Fresno is a very busy area. Yeah. And pursuits happening, and there's basically a checklist that a sergeant has to go through, and you're covering your basis and liability and covering your officers and staying within policy. And him just to say pit is authorized, I think is just something that's almost automatic. And in this case, I don't think I would pit a car that's armed.
Yeah, I agree. I think, I don't know. I think it's all situational dependent, but I do agree with you that him saying the pit was authorized, I think he said it so many times. It was just during a pursuit that it was just an automatic pursuit kicks off, and he's just saying, hey, yep, pit's authorized. So yeah, I mean, you are dealing with a guy, and you know he's armed because he even says in the 911 call, you can hear him in the background while she's on the phone saying that he was going to shoot her. Yeah. If she didn't pull over and talk to him. So there's a lot going on right there. So he ends up, neither one of them stopped. They both get stopped or stuck at the red light. What worried me was their cars were positioned side by side. And I think you have a couple of options. One, you park your car behind, and he gave himself a little bit of distance between him, the suspect, and the female. Or knowing all of that in the back of your head, you take it upon yourself to ram the back of his car, because in my head, I might be thinking he's side by side with her, and he actually does. We had to watch the video a few times. He takes a shot out of his window into her vehicle, and you can kind of see like the glass go out, and you can hear the popping sound of the gun. So he does take a shot at her. So those are an options. But the pros and cons to that would be if you do ram him, what if your airbag goes off? What if you get yourself stuck in your own vehicle? I mean, there's things to consider if you're going to do that. I don't know that I would want to do that. Maybe if I'm by myself, not knowing if I had other partners there, that if I did get stuck in my car, I had somebody else there to like take the lethal part of it. If I'm by myself, I think he parked his car behind hers. And this is only my perspective of this, is maybe he wanted to get an angle to be able to see into his car because his windows were tinted. But he parks behind her car. He shoots a round at her. She throws it in reverse, backs up, hits his patrol car, which could have disabled it. And then the guy ends up taking off as the officer gets out of his car, gives him commands. He actually fires multiple rounds into the car. Guy takes off, crashes. I mean, how do you think?
That's a hard one because he gets behind the car and then the victim is scared. So she's not going to stop. She's going to keep going. And then he is still following, chasing her, and now fleeing from you. So looking at the mindset of that suspect, like, that's a scary situation. And having those scenarios try and run through your mind to be prepared for a situation like this. And like you said, she stops because she's trying to get away, and he stops right next to her. And it's not like there's solid traffic in front of him. Like, there's no cars in front of him. So he is purposely stopped there. And
yeah.
I like the option of potentially just rear-ending him. But you're right. There's a lot of things to think about with the vehicle being disabled. That's a hard thing to think about. And I think looking back at it, he pulled up behind her, which limits her mobility. Her car is boxed in. Suspect is not. So I think another option would be to park behind the suspect. So then she could back up or do something. But thinking ahead, now if he tries to get out, he could potentially be run over by her. This is a very difficult situation.
It's a super dynamic situation where like
yeah.
There's multiple things going on, and I think the sergeant just does a really good job of he was totally flexible with his tactics and maneuvering and what he was doing. He didn't even focus on the chick. Like, that's the least of his worries right now. I mean, that guy is the only thing that he needs to be concerned about. And I felt like he did a really good job of that. When he fires the rounds into the car and the guy takes off, I think his natural reaction was that intersection was pretty close to where he was, and the guy ends up crashing anyways. And for the fact that the sergeant ran up to the car, like, with no cover, and he basically brought the fight to the dude. I thought, I mean, dude, that takes a lot. It takes a lot of courage to be able to do that. So I thought he did a phenomenal job. Runs up to the car. He takes cover behind a civilian car. That sucks to be a civilian in that situation.
Well, he reloads as he's running. He
does a great.
He chased the car down, which I like. I mean, you see that he's going to get stuck in traffic, and he's not giving up. He's not taking cover because that suspect just shot at her in front of him. Mm-hmm. Who knows if he's going to shoot up other cars? So he was aggressive, and I think this is the part where you need to be aggressive.
Totally, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you're by a civilian car, and first of all, the reload that he did was phenomenal. Like, he didn't even skip a beat.
Yeah.
As a civilian and something like that, I mean, I think the only thing you can even do in that point, like, he does a good job of like using their cars as cover, but like, hey, get the hell out of your car or whatever. Like, that's going to be on the citizen to kind of manage themselves at that point. I mean, it sucks, but it is what it is. And that's a life and death situation. And so then he fires multiple shots into that car. And look, I don't know how the guy ends up not even getting shot. And it looks like all his rounds go into the it goes into the back passenger window and door.
Harry, you're alive. And you're a horrible shot.
And so, first of all, that dude is like incredibly lucky. I have no idea how he didn't get hit by any of those rounds. I think he mag dumped two magazines into that car and missed all the rounds. And I want to hit on that real quick because it always circles back to, and I always talk about it like the red dot sights, right? Like, people are so hyped up on red dot sights on pistols. It is like the new thing now, and I don't know. I look at it like, are you doing something to have like something cool because everybody else is doing it on your equipment or your firearm, and you really didn't even practice a whole lot with it? You just automatically think that because you have a red dot on your pistol, you're going to be super accurate. Like, or are you someone who is very familiar with firearms? You're, that's something that you're really into. You go to the range constantly. You're dry firing at home all the time, like with this piece of equipment on your gun to actually accumulate that red dot. And I'm comfortable talking about it because I've been in multiple shootings. You've been in a shooting. And I just know that when you're in a situation like that red dot is not going to save you. And so you're not even going to pick up your front sights. That is all pointing and shooting. And case in point in this video, like I would love to ask that sergeant, did you even find your front sights? And I'm willing to bet he'll say no. And I have a lot of friends that have been in shootings and they have red dot sights. And I always ask them, like, did you find your red dot or your sights at all? And every single time it's always been no. And so I just want cops to understand, like, I'm not saying that you shouldn't have that, because I know there's a time and a place for it, but I would hate to think that someone gets a piece of equipment like that and then feels like that's going to save them.
So I think with the red dot, for tools, there's a time and a place. And I know you mentioned that. And I think having that red dot is an advantage for like a felony vehicle stop, or you're holding someone at gunpoint where you're stagnant, you're taking a sighted shot. Like, that's important. You have time to process. But in this situation, that's not happening. It's an active running gunfight. That's where your skill set of point and shoot, having muscle memory, training at the range, movement, all comes into play. And granted, I was on the SWAT team and we shot a lot in a lot of movement. Not everyone has that advantage. And there's a lot of people that are very skilled with guns. And I know they're going to analyze this video because all of his rounds are hard right, which is an indicator of something. And I'll let people add in the comments their professional input on that.
Yeah, good point.
But the red dot, I don't think it would matter what you had at this point. That's where your skill set of muscle memory comes in. And that guy in the car is super lucky that everything was hard right.
Yeah, I don't know how he survived.
Yeah.
So I bring it up because you mentioned it. Like, I think when guys get the red dot, and I see it like at work, they go to the range, they align their sights up, they get the red dot on their target, and then they're taking these like super precision, accurate shots. And it drives me nuts because I'm like, the odds of you getting into a shooting where you're just stagnant like that is so far less and less stressful than moving and shooting. And so that's where I guess I have the biggest issue with it, is not relying too much on that at training or at the range, and not relying on actual skill set of like running, moving, getting behind cover, shooting while moving, reloading while running, like this in this video he does. That's where, to me, I feel like this red dot sight that has become this huge thing now in law enforcement is like this crutch for people. And then they're using that at the range and not training how they should be training for a scenario that's more likely to unfold in real life.
Well, I think
does that make sense?
It totally does. But I think what I hear that you're saying is that the red dot is something that's been introduced to the handgun that is now revealing weakness in training.
Yes. And you have guys that are so hardcore about it, and they're like, no, this is the way, like, this is, and I'm not a gun nut. So, but they, trains your eyesight and to pick up your, sights and all these things. And I have yet, and look, please put in the comments if you can prove me wrong on this, but I have yet to meet somebody who's an avid red dot gun nut who advocates so hardcore for them, who's actually been in a officer involved shooting. I have not met a guy or girl who is so hardcore about them. And then I've sat there and said, okay, have you actually been in a shooting in real life? And they've said, yes. I have not met anybody. I've met plenty of people who have red dot sights, who have been in shootings, who said they never picked it up.
Good point. Interesting.
So that's where it kind of rubs me the wrong way. And it's like, well, and me personally, like we've both been in several officer involved shootings. Like, so I'm just telling you from my perspective, like what my brain and eyesight did. And that doesn't mean everyone is going to be like that. But when you talk to multiple people who have been in shootings and they all tell you the same thing, that's where I just want cops to understand, like, especially new guys. Like, I know buying the new cool thing is like, that's awesome to do. Just if you're going to do that, I would just say practice the other stuff. Practice like the basic stuff, like as if you didn't have that, the running, the moving and shooting and all of that stuff, like practice pointing, shooting at the range.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what, to me, it's bringing up and it's pointing out a deficiency in training. And I'm watching you talk as you're saying all that. I'm just realizing that your mustache needs to be trimmed. It's a little,
yeah.
It's a little
I thought
longer.
about that this morning,
it's
actually.
a little long. It's longer than your beard.
I know.
Get
Dude,
that.
I've had a busy weekend. Cut me a break.
It actually is
Damn.
affecting the way you're talking. It's almost
it?
too heavy. Yeah, it's weird.
It's like in my mouth, like tickling my upper lip.
I know.
Yeah.
Fix that.
I will.
Usually you're pretty well put together, but this is embarrassing for all of us.
Look at your beard.
I know. It's doing very well. It's so healthy right now. It's like conditioned and oiled. But real quick, just to finish on the red dot thing, I think it's uncovering a weakness in the training and working a range and being at the range all the time. Our SWAT team was very, very good at shooting, very proficient. We did a lot of movements, a lot of competitions, and we're skilled. But there are patrol cops and agencies, you only get to shoot 1 or 2 times a year. And having multiple people go out to a range and do that active movement for a range master is super scary because you're getting people that you look at and you say, you're a police officer. You should not be carrying a gun because you don't have the skill set, the discipline, the muscle, like all of that. So I do have to defend range masters a little bit, and it is super sketchy out there. And that's why most of them, and if you're not wearing a vest as a range master, you probably should. But I think it's uncovering a weakness in training, and I hope agencies listen to this and start changing their range discipline when it comes to shooting. You need the basics, the proficiency, like the mechanics, but the reality is of what's happening is not what's reflected in range training. They need to adjust range training.
Yeah, I would rather go to the range, get myself winded, out of breath, my heart rate up, no sights on my pistol, and then I would rather be put through a scenario where I had to engage a target or whatever than have a red dot sight, stand on a line, and shoot a grouping like super tight.
Yeah.
Like, because I know in real life that's what I'm going to be up against. And I would rather train myself and condition my brain to manage that and manage stress than rely on a piece of equipment that people think is going to aim for them. And that's just not the case. And so I don't even know that happened in this scenario. Like the officer's angle, the sergeant's angle on this, could have just been a little
and the car turning.
Yeah.
And sun reflection.
Yeah. He could have thought, he's shooting in that back passenger window towards like the headrest of the driver, totally. I don't know. And that dude probably was ducked down praying for his life at that point.
And it worked. But what you can't always teach is this sergeant's response of how aggressive he was to chase that guy down.
Yeah.
And to follow through, pull the dude out at gunpoint. Like, he was very mellow. And I'm actually shocked that his patrol car's siren didn't turn off. Most cars are set up when you put it in park.
Some of the newer ones don't. In fact, some of ours at our work don't, and it's actually really frustrating. I don't know.
You listen to how distracting distracting it is.
Yeah.
But he did a phenomenal job. I'm very impressed with how aggressive he was coming up on the suspect. And you can see the demeanor of the suspect when you get out of the car. I think his whole life was over, and he was like at an energy level of like 2 because the dude just almost killed his girlfriend. He just
escaped death.
Yes, like literally escaped death.
Yeah. No, so the partner that shows up too, you got to give a shout out to him because, dude, he did a phenomenal job. Like, he's like, hey, shoulder taps the sergeant. He's like, hey, Sarge, you want me to take over commands? He's like, yeah, go for it. He did a great job too.
He even announced that he's coming up on your right. Like, dude, great.
I thought they did a great job. The communication was phenomenal. So Fresno PD is doing something right with their training and communication. But the only thing I would say or suggest could be maybe wait for a couple additional units to get there to actually handcuff and detain that guy. He's surrendering. He's on his knees right there with his hands up. Like, you already told him if he does anything, you're going to shoot him. I have no doubt they would have, or at least tried. And maybe wait for a couple additional just to get there to go hands on to make it make it safe. But
well, I got to give a shout out to Fresno PD because they have a phenomenal training facility, and that's actually where I went for range master school, and it is a massive campus. It is very, very impressive.
I got to give a shout out to my boy Suki, who I went to
SLI
SLI class with recently from Fresno PD. So good, he's a good dude. So yeah, no, I overall, I thought the sergeant did a great job. He was dealt a really shitty circumstance, and given the fact that he was by himself, like that's a great video to watch. Take the not hitting the guy with all those shots out of it. Like that's a great video to watch. And if I'm a cop, I'm watching a video like that, and that's another scenario that I'm going to be playing in my head. Like if I was in his shoes, like what would I do? So that when you are put in that situation, you're not going to hesitate.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of really good things to think about in that. Your response to domestic violence calls, getting in a pursuit, the car not stopping, ramming the victim in front of you, your vehicle positioning, shooting.
Picking up on all those red flags.
Yeah.
For sure.
So a lot. So I think this was a really good one. I actually feel pretty comfortable. I feel like I'm back in the saddle, as they say. My chair's pretty good. It's
good, dude.
So I feel pretty good about it.
I feel good. I never had anything change. So I know I'm good. And that's what's most important here. So, all right. Anything else?
No, that's it. This was a good one.
Cool. All right, guys. We'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching.
Stay safe and be smart.